Wow, okay. Thank you for writing, and you wrote a lot. Boy, oh boy. This is about the suicide bridge in Pasadena, which, again, Pasadena, creepy Pasadena. Very unnerving that you came upon the aftermath of yet another victim associated with the Colorado Street Bridge. That's true. We were, this was actually on the same video where we go to Devil's Gate Dam. We weren't planning on doing any shooting at the Colorado Street Bridge, the so-called suicide bridge. But we're in the area. I'd gone to it. I've walked underneath it and all that. I want to do a very in-depth investigation there, but I haven't yet. But Connor had never really seen it up close, so I was going to drive her, over the bridge, and we were approaching it. And again, you can see all this on the Devil's Gate Dam video as well. And suddenly, police were everywhere. We got diverted. We could not go onto the bridge. But ironically, the diversion, the traffic rerouting, ended up sending us underneath the bridge, where we saw even more police. And I don't know, I think it was just odd at first. It was exciting, but I didn't really think that there was somebody had just killed himself there. And then we get underneath the bridge and we see an ambulance, which we still thought, or at least I'll speak for myself, I still thought, oh, what a bizarre scene, what a strange coincidence that this is the place where people kill themselves, and now we can't even go to it because there's police and ambulances everywhere. But then we ended up finding out later on that indeed, about 5 or so minutes before we got there, somebody did jump to their death off that bridge. Really, I don't know, it was just... she said it, unnerving. That's absolutely what it was. It was just unnerving. Kind of shook me to the core. We were going to do more shooting that night, but I felt a little shaky. After all that. And Devil's Gate Dam was pretty unnerving in and of itself. Continuing with his message, which I love, by the way, that YouTube is now kind of forcing people to use their real names and not hide behind these usernames. You actually have to back up what you're saying. You can't just be blurting racist crap out there. You actually have to stand behind your words. So hopefully people choose them a little better now. I took my daughter to Pasadena February 22 through 4 this year to meet up with a friend of mine for a tour of the area in conjunction with a haunted heritage paranormal event with a few celebrities. Oh my goodness, why wasn't I there? Not that I'm a celebrity, but I would have liked to attend that. To include Sci-Fi Channel's Ben Hansen of Paranormal, Fact or Faked. That show, what a great idea, first off. And there's a couple episodes that are good, but hell, they're just, they drag it out so long just to try to fill time. It ends up being a headache after a while to me. Again, I like the people involved with it. The girl that was on Destination Truth is obviously awesome because she's got that background to her as well. But that show is... you could do easily twice as much content in the same time period. This place is bizarre, man. This is Linda Godfrey. I think I talked about her last week too. Linda Godfrey cites John A. Keel. Keel being the guy that wrote the book, The Mothman Prophecies. He talks about certain areas being kind of window areas, which are almost like doorways to maybe multi-dimensional things. Where there's so many different strange phenomena going on that there has to be some crossover between what we perceive as our world and reality and some opening to whatever the heck else is out there. I would not at all be surprised if Devil's Gate is referred to as such a place. I mean, for one, Aleister Crowley, years ago, said that this was one of the 7 portals to hell. And long before Aleister Crowley was around, the area Native Americans were the ones that named that area Devil's Gate. So this is a spooky place, man. And there was even a rock that kind of looked like profile of Satan's head. And the Native Americans just steered clear of the area. Getting back to the letter. And I have been pounding the keys on our computers, researching every aspect and event that involves Pasadena's infamous attractions, and have stumbled upon information that at times is so unbelievably chilling that we unknowingly became the recipients of modern-day technological men in black. For lack of specifics, I would rather not publish here on who they are. I'm going to take the name off of here, so that's why you've been hearing bleeps. So the email went on for a while, beyond what I read to you, and the more I read, the more I saw that this person's kind of up to their elbows in stuff into, who knows, X-Files-y crap. Exciting and scary at the same time. She talks about kind of Men in Black like interference. I super appreciate that she's reaching out to me. I didn't know I was going to read a letter like this on just my second podcast, which is why I said her name and I had to bleep it a couple times now. I didn't think I'd have to be censoring names. And just as I was talking about how I'm happy that people have to give their name now. This is spooky and neat. I will continue conversation with this individual. Rodney Armstrong writes in asking if anybody actually witnessed, oh my gosh, Peg Entwhistle. For a moment I blanked on the name. Anybody witnessed Peg Entwhistle's suicide? Now, Peg Entwhistle, for all of you who don't know off the top of your head, was the woman who famously leapt to her death off of the H on the Hollywood sign. Struggling actress. Her dream was to move from the stage to screen. She had already been a very established stage actor and actually inspired some big-name actors that came after her. But she herself wanted to be on the silver screen. She made the move out to Los Angeles, and Peg Entwhistle, distraught, walked from her home on Beechwood Canyon Drive. And I'm going to actually do a video. I'd love to do it soon. I don't know if I'll have time to do it soon, but definitely this summer. I'm going to do a video where I leave the house that she left from. That was weird. Just a big click in my ear. The Men in Black are listening. Where I'm going to leave the house that she left from and actually walk her footsteps up to the Hollywood sign. It's not really about an investigation, although if I come across anything, that would be wonderful too. But I just kind of want to walk in her footsteps, quite literally, to see. Because you hear, okay, she walked from her house, walked up to the Hollywood sign. I was in that area recently. That is a trek. You'd need a machete to get through the brush. It is up and down, very steep canyons, I guess. So I want to go through what Peg went through in those, her last moments. It's beyond premeditated. It's, not like picking up a gun or putting your head in the oven or something like that. She had hours on this walk. And I'll find out exactly how long soon, but she had hours to make this walk from her home, from her uncle's house, up to the Hollywood sign, climb the letter H, which is, I think, 50 foot tall at the time. It's 10 feet shorter now than it was back then when Peg jumped off. And to this day, people still see her walking the route. They see her walking up Beechwood, and they eventually do see the phantom of a woman jumping from the H on the Hollywood sign. And now, since the sign is actually a little bit shorter, they actually see her hovering above it and then falling, which lines up with the residual haunting. The entity, and that's not an entity, but the energy there is just reacting with the space. It's interacting with just where she was at that time. It doesn't matter if nowadays it's not there, the H that is. She's still, her body, her image is still occupying that same exact space before falling. I'm doing a lot of ghost stuff today, more than I thought I was going to. But no, Rodney, to answer your question, I don't believe anybody actually did witness Peg jumping from the sign. It was nighttime, so I don't know if anybody would have been out there to see that. It sounds like you're doing some investigating of your own, so please do keep us posted with whatever you're looking into, and if you find out anything interesting, we would love to hear it.